So recently I did a video on this insane display, the Acer Predator Z57, an ultra-wide monitor that takes it a step further by being 32:9 rather than 21:9. However, one of the main issues I had with it is that quite a few games don't really know how to take full advantage of this aspect ratio. Now you know me, the very first one we need to try out is Cyberpunk 2077, and it is pretty much going to be the same as in that video, where the problems are the fact that all of the cutscenes and all the menus are kind of, as you saw, still restricted. However, when you're in the game itself, it does take full advantage of the additional real estate. However, of course, given how this game is kind of difficult to run already, it very much tanks in performance. Sticking with CDPR and going to The Witcher 3, as you can see, it takes full advantage of the full screen apart from the HUD itself. As you can see, it is still in its kind of default positions at the center of the screen. Maybe you prefer to have things like, I don't know, your health meter always in a more visible position rather than in the top left edge, where you literally have to make yourself look to the left just to spot it because of how far it is when you're just looking right ahead. So that could be something you may be a fan of. One, I'm genuinely surprised by how well it looks is Minecraft. Not only does it take full advantage at 32:9 of the whole screen, but also if you go into F3, as you can see, all of the HUD elements there stick to the edges of the screen rather than being in the middle. Now, what I'm kind of disappointed in is Rainbow Six Siege, because if we go into the settings over here, I mean, as you can see, we are running at the correct resolution, and even with our aspect ratio set to match the resolution, it is still maxing out at just 21:9, and it's not just a menus thing. If we go into actual gameplay, even if it's just the benchmark here, it is still just 21:9. Now, obviously, one of the big things about PC gaming is the modability and the fact that, hey, if a game does not properly support, say, ultra-wide or even just widescreen aspect ratios, then you can just mod it in. However, the issue with competitive online games like this is if you did try to mod it in, even if it's just something like a very basic quality of life update, you'll probably just get banned for cheating. So, unfortunately, we are just at the mercy of Ubisoft to give us the 32:9 support we need, you know, to satisfy the 10 people in the world who actually play at this aspect ratio. For the fun of it, let's go for something ancient like Half-Life, and no way, does it actually support? No, I think it does. Our resolution's correct. If this actually works, I will be no way. This looks ridiculous. Look at this. Okay, this is actually insane. I love it. I love it so much. It also says a lot that this game has better ultra widescreen support, or whatever we're calling it, than Rainbow Six Siege X. So yeah, get on it, Ubisoft. So that's how it works with PC games, but what if you want to try console gaming on this thing? No, obviously not talking about the current gen stuff. I'm talking about an actually good console. I'm talking about the PS2. Okay, so it doesn't take up the full screen, but this is still just ridiculous. It's so stretched out. Okay, let's just give this a go and see exactly what actual gameplay is gonna be like on this thing. I'm expecting it to look terrible, but let's see. Let's see. I'm still being somewhat hopeful that we can at least finish a race in this insane... Again, I don't even know what aspect ratio this is. It's not taking up the full screen, but it's definitely wider than 21:9. So it's just some very weird stretched thing going on here. And okay, yeah, look how wide the cars are. Look how wide the people are. This is the peak of PS2 gaming, ladies and gentlemen. It does not get better than this. Now, it's important to note that because this thing doesn't obviously have any analog inputs, this is being done via an open source scan converter, or OSSC. So if you're using something else, like for example a RetroTink 4K, then your results may vary and it may look slightly better than this. I'd love to finally give it a go myself, but that thing is kind of expensive, so oh well, maybe one day. Okay, let's see if the PC version of an Underground game will do any better. So this is Underground 2. Not 1, and already I'm seeing some very strange behavior. Everything is kind of like sped up, as you can see, but I don't know, let's go into the game itself. Oh my word, everything is sped up. Look at this. So older games usually have the physics and the overall speed of the engine simulation tied to the frame rate, but usually I did not have any issues like this when playing on just a 4K 144Hz monitor. So this thing, which is actually, lower, it's 120Hz. Why is it at like 10x speed? So the moral of the story is every game is different. Some modern games handled this aspect ratio pretty well, others not so much. Some really old games like Half-Life did amazingly well, and others like Underground 2 ran into some very weird technical issues. So obviously, it is not a priority for any dev right now to optimize their games for this kind of aspect ratio, given how so few monitors use it. There's obviously the Z57, Samsung have one as well, but it's still extremely niche. So would you personally game on this? Well, let me know down in the comments below, and while you're at it, maybe check out our Patreon as well, because even a single dollar a month truly goes a long way. Plus huge thanks to Gavin Burns, Justin Rage, Ella Vroniak, Badashroka, Patrick Harrison, or the pseudonym Meg Sumner, and Shane Allcroft. But anyway, that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.